Yeah, Mr. Davis, let me call you right back. Something just came up. What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
It's on my desk. You can't concentrate.
It's not on your desk.
It's on my desk. It's on the edge. One word, 2 syllables. Demarcation. What are you doing? You can't do that.
Why not?
I could fall. It's a safety violation. Could pierce an organ.
So, how do I look?
Normal. Ugly.
Hi everybody, my name is Phyllis, and my boss, Michael Scott, asked me to explain what us research coordinators do on a day-to-day basis. So basically we are the liquids disease team, leukemia, MDS, lymphoma, and myeloma. We coordinate research protocols in compliance with regulatory laws and institutional guidelines, and collaborate with the remainder of the research team in Taussig, so the PI, co-I, research nurses, research assistants, and the pharmacists. And we assess feasibility and management of these research protocols. We manage the data to maintain quality and compliance throughout the trial, and I gotta be honest, that's all I really got time for today. My boyfriend Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration is taking me to Bahamas this week, so I gotta finish knitting my bikini.
Every time it rains, Phyllis says the same 12 cliches over and over again. So I promised everyone if she says them all before noon, I'll do their crop entries for a week.
Wow, it's raining cats and dogs out there. Holy moly. Oh, the plants are gonna love this. I always get better when it's raining.
So Phyllis, how was the drive-in?
Well, nobody knows how to drive in the rain.
It's almost noon. How many do we have left?
We got 1 left. Stay at home, curled up with a good book.
Morning, guys.
Hey, Phyllis. Does this weather make you want to do anything?
Not particularly.
Doesn't this weather make you want to stay at home doing something warm and cozy?
A lot of things make me want to do things that are warm and cozy.
And that's noon.
Normally this weather would make me want to curl up at home with a good book, but everybody's being so nice to me today. I'm happy here.
Monitors and data managers review the data that we put into the databases. And this can be anything from patient weight to what drug they received to what time they had a test. This part of the job is where I get to redo everything, and I just love it. Sometimes I'm lucky and the monitor or data manager will be nice and tell me exactly what they want, and I'll do it. Other times I have to decipher their wants and needs, and I don't get that enough at home. Wait.
No, this is good. This is good. We have to put this in.
She'd kill it.
This is good. This is good. It'd be happy. It'd be happy.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
The clinical team loves to hear about data lock, which is where the sponsor basically wants to see all the data prior to their interim analysis. This is where I get asked what happened back in 2013, even though I wasn't even here. And the only person to ask is Dr. Sekris, you know.
An SAE is a serious adverse event where a patient's life is likely in danger. After the resolution of the event, we have to submit follow-up reports to our initial report, which usually indicates queries for the clinical team again. After I send them the queries, I sit back and I realize I got it pretty easy.
We always have problems with printing. And you can never find where the issue is with where the paper's jammed.
Well, I manage my department, and I've been doing that for several months now. And oh my god, I've learned so many life lessons along the way.
Your department's just you, isn't it?
Yes, Jim. But I'm a lot to manage. So a PSV is a pre-site initiation visit, and that's where the sponsor decides if they want to work with us. But duh, of course they do. We're the Cleveland Clinic. An SIV is a site initiation visit, and that's where the sponsor decides if we're capable of running the clinical trial. But duh, of course we are. We're the Cleveland Clinic. Ryan's usually there for the SIV, and that visit is always bananas. BANANAS!
You asked me how my day's going? That's a loaded question. Let me tell you a little story about this informed consent I'm trying to get approved. I get it from the sponsor, right? To return with site-specific detail promptly for study team approval. Okay. I look at it and it's a mess. How do we expect a patient to want to go on study when there's 50 different headings and it looks more like an art project than an informative document? So I make it all nice, spend my whole Wednesday doing it, send it over, and celebrate at Port Richards afterwards. Time goes by, Dwight traps my head in a bag with a bat, and I get bit. Michael runs me over with his car, and I break my pelvis. Oh, and apparently I got rabies from that bat. And all that, still no consent sent back from the sponsor. I finally get it back, make their little changes, send it to the IRB. IRB doesn't like it, send it back to the sponsor with changes. Finally, it gets approved. We put a patient on study, patient's consented all fine, then a protocol amendment comes out. And guess what? New informed consent. I guess the best thing to come out of all this is that Jim signed my hip cast, so can't wait to read that later.
So I get the data from the trials and I put it into the database. Well, that pretty much explains it. Why say lot word when few word do trick?
Deviations are when we stray away from what the protocol wants us to do and we try to improv. Sometimes they're patient caused, sometimes they're non-patient caused, but either way we have to report those to the sponsor, upload them in Encore, and keep a running list of all the things that we've not done quite right. This is where I keep mine. One thing we do is take serious adverse events, or SAEs, and we upload them into the Encore database, and we report them to the sponsors. Some people see it as some annoying extra work, but I see it as some added exercise, because when you're up against a 24-hour time clock to get it reported, it raises your heart rate. Not enough for cardio, but definitely enough for fat burn.
My name is Dwight Schrute, and I'm the assistant chairman of Thor.
Assistant to the chairman of Thor.
I'm the assistant chairman of Thor. I primarily handle IRB 5024, everything from data entry, my clinical trials, making sure patients' billing is correct, sample annotation, manuscript preparation, IRB, I do it all.
Working at Cleveland Clinic isn't a job, it's a calling. It's what we were born to do. As William Churchill, who was a king of England, once said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for clinical research."